Yeah, at some point we find that he threw this in the lake because he was annoyed that he couldn't figure out how to work it. Hello? All right. Okay, this is the dickwad's room. You know what? I want him to come back to his room and there's just glass everywhere. Fuck Pendleton. Pendleton sucks. And he took his silver. And his money. Hopefully we take his girl too. Okay, take his tart.
My furnishings have been installed at last with no small amount of complaining by that antiquated boatman.
Oh,
The
I
others
hate
have
Pendleton.
no idea what it's like to suffer as I have.
Oh my god.
Wallace, please breathe 2 bottles of Dunwall Red, never mind which, and fetch a clean glass. Well, I'll begin again tomorrow.
God, I hate him so much. Silver tray he pisses in. Oh, internalizing that. Hello, Wallace.
If I may, I am the personal assistant to Lord Pendleton, and one of the senior servants at Pendleton House, as was my father. Now I am entrusted with this house, the home of the Loyalists. I have never seen the Admiral fail at any venture. If order can be restored to the city of Dunwall, I believe he can do it. If anyone can get your old life back, it's him. I don't need to tell you, if the authorities investigated this place, we would be hard-pressed to explain ourselves. We brought a few trifles over from Pendleton Manor. A touch of home in these trying times.
I want all your
room
dialogue.
aloft should assure your privacy.
Okay,
Lord
I can jack
Pendleton was
it.
once a close ally to the Lord Regent. But there was a great shuffling of the aristocratic families. My lord was attacked by vipers from all sides.
Because you only get the dialogue for mission.
I understand you were
out.
once welcome at court before the murder. May I say I am relieved to have another man here who knows the courtly world.
Hate court.
This building has stood here for over 3 centuries. As long as Lord Pendleton calls it home, I would defend it with my life. I may well have to.
Dude, I have no doubt in my heart of hearts that you are not going to be able to land a goddamn shot when it comes time to it. Hello, Cecilia. What are you doing in my room? All right. I love that the thing comes up for my room like it's this big deal. All right. Got that, got that, got that, got that. I'm gonna go peek into Emily's room. I wonder if we can. Or if the tower, because there's Coldridge Prison. We're literally like right across from where we were. Oh, we can go in here. Not that this is Emily's room yet. The Fugue Feast. Excerpt from a book on the celebration. Oh yeah, the plague. Or not the plague, the purge. Of celebrations and holidays. At the end of every year, at the last day of the months of songs, we begin the Fugue Feast. The new year has not yet started, and thus the time that follows is outside the calendar. A period of celebration and feasting begins, during which the people abandon the very practices that keep them whole and healthy over the year. Many leave their home euphoric with spirits or potent herbs. Some paint their faces or wear masks to conceal themselves as they pursue their passions without reservation. When the right cosmological signs are observed and it's time for the calendar to begin anew, the sitting high overseer calls for the hymn of atonement and the fugue feast ends. Families return to their homes, wives to their husbands, enemies put down their weapons, and fires are extinguished. No complaint is given for those who have wronged others, deviated from ancient codes, or discarded oaths. For this time during the astrological alignment does not exist and is not recorded. The following day starts the new year, marked on the first day of the month of Earth, and as it has always been. The idea is that Emily was conceived during a fugue feast, so therefore no one can actually approach the fact that you are her dad. Excerpt from a work of fiction, early chapters. My stomach twisted as the engines of the odd vessel roared louder. It was the creation of Orcado, third prefect from the Academy of Natural Philosophy. He was exhilarated, savoring each of the small craft's undulations. Orcado pulled a lever, and the great gout of smoke surrounded us. The smelling of burning whale oil grew unbearable as the machine propelled itself upward. I was too afraid to look through the window, which suddenly didn't feel thick enough. As if knowing my thoughts, Overseer Byrne looked at me and smiled. Recite some of my litany, my pupil. It will protect your heart from the turpitude of the void on our way to the outer spheres. Well, that's not great. I don't like the word turpitude. Trials of aptitude. We already did that one. All right. Onward. Yeah, this is gonna be the episode that has like by far the most reading, just because of the amount of books that you get in this first section. But then, yeah, the missions, mission by mission, it goes a lot faster. Especially because I know what we're doing. And now we're going down. Down, 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 down. All right, so that plot's gonna trigger when we go down into that room. So we're gonna first hit the basement. Just because there's Mooney in here. Yeah, so say the sewers you can't get into unless we were to spend all of our runes, I think, to get possession. Which I don't. Oh yeah, we're not going to be able to use runes in this one, so I gotta remember for this playthrough, because we are doing mostly steel. I cannot rely on getting possession. I've been so like, oh, I'm not even going to be able to do dark vision. What do you think about that? Oh,
I wouldn't hang about if I were you. From what I understand, time's getting short.
dude, I've been taking my time this whole time. Oh wow, he literally doesn't give me any more dialogue after that. That's funny. All right, on to plot.
We can continue this later, Lord Pendleton. The man of the hour is here. Corvo, I'm Admiral Havelock.
God, I hate
A
Pendleton.
true servant of the Empire, like you. Until the Lord Regent purged those of us who wouldn't recognize his claim on the throne.
And I'm Lord Trevor Pendleton. I represent the nobility in our little group. But we all act as equals here at the Hound Pits pub.
This is a momentous occasion, Corvo. I'm going to come out.
I have to establish
We
my
can build a
status, but
coalition
we're equals.
aimed at ending the Lord Regent's tyranny and restoring the throne.
At risk of execution, we're committed to finding young Lady Emily and seeing her crowned as Empress.
We've got big plans, but we can't do any of it without you. We need your skills, your ability in a fight, and in helping us, we're going to help you destroy the men who murdered the Empress.
Sorry, you must be exhausted. We can discuss this further after you've recovered. But before you retire, you should introduce yourself to Piero. He's challenging.
I will say, I don't like
But his
Pendleton, but his
industrious
voice
mind
actor
lies
does a
in that
great job.
route.
Yes, but Piero's as much an artist as a magician. He's going to be crafting the gear you'll need. Go talk to him and then get some sleep. We can talk more when you've rested.
Why are you telling me what to do? It's not a good introduction to just be telling me what to do. Also talk.
Good to have.
Oh, damn it. All right, buddy. I actually am kind of antsy to not be on stream because I realize that I'm
You talked to
hungry.
Piero yet?
Unless you are
He
otherwise
made the
authorized.
weapons we left for you in the
Violators
lab.
will be subject to
Go see
interrogation
him
and
when you can.
detained when necessary.
Piero still wants to work
Remember,
with
the boldest
I love this.
victories
Okay,
are the
no,
safest.
no. You don't understand. No dialogue. Go see Piero because he's gonna show you your mask.
I'll be crafting your weapons and gear, all custom work. For you, I will create the tools of a master assassin. No!
Oh no.
This cannot happen now. The tank of whale oil's run out.
I like Piero a
Will you
lot.
get a new tank from upstairs, please?
Yeah, I'll
while I
go
hold
get
this
you
in
one.
place? Be
Yes,
careful.
I can use the grindstone for no reason. Take your
When it
map.
explodes, there's terrible minutes.
I don't know why that closed behind. A second solution, excerpt from a series of newspaper articles from the prominent natural philosophers by Piero Joplin. It is through no fault of my own that the average citizen has expressed a preference for Sokolov's elixir over my own formula, sold as Piero's remedy, a name I did not choose if you must know the truth. The public has spoken its usual message of idiocy, spending their coin as a means of selecting Sokolov's formula over mine, which I believe to be equal if not superior. Much has been made over the popularity of these concoctions as a means of resisting this remarkable new plague. I say remarkable because the strain works with an efficiency we have not seen in the history of the Empire. This plague, now making its way through the city of Dunwall, is unrivaled in its effectiveness. I have studied it within the blood of those so afflicted, and it is nearly perfect, elegant, in fact. And while it is true that Piero's remedy and Sokolov's elixir are known to protect the body against the plague equally, as my own has properties not fully understood which relate to the mind itself and the spirit. It is in this way that my formula wins out. Here is where one should pay attention to this contest. For you see, Sokolov's elixir, with its emphasis on the brute animal body, is a crass goo, better suited for livestock. The subtle and secret variance of the key ingredients making it Piero's remedy ensure that it works on the higher functions that separate humankind from the mindless blue-jaw hagfish swimming in the river. God, I love Piero. Piero's request is denied. Piero, I will not sign off on these purchases. A bag of powdered crystal, Tivian ore. What's wrong with the metals in crystal? King Sparrow's feather. If you need King Sparrow feathers. If you need feathers, sacrifice your own pillow. Maybe at the academy, everything you need was paid for by tariff and handed out willy-nilly. But this is my bar or what's left of it, and we're operating on a budget. We're running low on oil, food, elixir, building materials, and everything else, so you've got to slow down. While I'm footing the bill, I will not approve your purchases unless they're absolutely required. No more copper wire or special herbs. If you need those things, go out and scavenge them. Half the city is in ruins, so no one is going to miss any of the odd crap you seem to need. Admiral Havelock. I love that that's the explanation for, like, the coin I'm getting for turning in these items. It has actually nothing to do with getting coin. It's that I'm giving them to Piero. Oh, weird that was already prepped for me. Let's see what else is up here first. Oh, damn, I could have sworn I got a key from this. Sokolov no longer has the upper hand with regards to supplies of whale oil. The good admiral has paid for the installation of my own system, which will enable me to work in this place. The oil tank dispenser, when activated, will produce an empty vessel for filling. When the empty tank is held near the oil tank refill pump, the magnetic attractor should take the tank and lock it into the correct configuration. Using the lever will begin the refilling process. Once refilling is completed, the tank can be removed and placed in service. Extreme caution must be used in handling the full tanks. They are quite unstable. The system is sound and well engineered. It appears that the Greaves Oil Company has done something correctly for once. Whale oiling processing. Excerpt from the founder of the Greaves Whale House by Ebenezer Greaves. Out at sea, they secure the beast with hooks, with lines cast from the main ship and from several smaller boats. Buoys keep the whale from diving deep. Once it's caught, a larger hook is driven through the tail, which is used to hoist the creature through the chute. They moan and bellow for some time as the men get to them onto the deck and then lift them into the scaffolding overhead. The ship adjusts its prow and returns to the port in Dunwell, where the crew works on the great creature, slicing off the fattiest parts while it still lives. That's not great.
The Academy teaches that absurd.
He's got such a sharp voice.
Whale oil rises
Oh god, so many books.
functions of extreme ships. The pressure and the cold are too much to endure without it.
I'm so hungry.
By a process of adaptation for
Bro. Sorry.
body. I could build a tank that would slowly
It just hit me that I want to
increase
eat.
pressure on a subject over a long period of time and then observe them for years if need be. To
That's
see if
terrible.
The formulation of energetic substances develop. Surely the Empress would be able to furnish me with facilities subject to necessary legal amnesty.
I like how there's so many piles of evidence of us not being the good guy. Whale vivisection. Excerpt from the notes of a natural philosopher aboard a whaling ship. Remarkably, each specimen I had the pleasure of studying during the voyage possessed some minor variance in physiology. On the second leg of the trip east of Tivia, the crew hauled aboard a female, some 42 feet in length. I estimated she weighed 35 tons and the ship sat low, rocking side to side through the night with her thrashing. By candlelight, I took her apart, sketching and taking notes. Against her bellowing, I cut into the massive tentacles around her mouth. Within, I found row upon row of teeth and a baleen running along the upper jaw. Through this broom-like structure, I assumed she filtered food from the water that was too small to be chewed. Oh, that's not fucking great. Okay, failed experiments. Oh my god, there's so much reading in this first section. Excerpt from a series of lectures on natural philosophy by Piero Joplin. Of course, I have attempted to improve upon Sokolov's designs. Of course, why not? After all, it is likely that his thinking was influenced in some small way by our time together at the Academy. I love how full of himself Piero is. We are all part of a community, striving to unknot the mysteries of the cosmos. Even those among us who possess the greatest minds are often led to a fruitful line of consideration by, how does anyone say it, our intellectual subordinates. That is not a good line saying. Sokolov is no exception to this, despite the glamour of genius he has cast over the aristocracy. It's the second time this episode. And further, it is true that many of my experiments have failed. No need to gossip about it behind my back at your social clubs and in the very chambers of the Academy itself. Great ambition requires risks. You may laugh now at my door to nowhere, which is a Portal reference, but someday you will not. Your children will likely see it as commonly as you see the electric lamps lighting our streets at night. But a few short years ago, you would have laughed at Sokolov's arc pylon or wall of light. Your laughter, your condescending smiles, they are nothing but evidence of your own limited imagination. Dead counter responsibilities. Excerpt from a new manual on City Watch procedures. Commissioned by the Lord Regent in the face of the growing plague crisis, the dead counter is a position that will only be given to officers, usually of junior or middle grades. In most matters of edict or curfew enforcement, these officers will defer to the acting officer on duty. However, any dead counter will have command in situations related to the plague and in the handling of the dead, including those with late-stage plague symptoms called weepers in common parlance. Starting in the month of rain, interested officers may apply for the test and, if accepted, for the 2-week training tour. Pay will be administered in coin and rations of elixir at 1 1/2 normal pay grade. Holy shit, okay. Yoink. Yoink. Whoa, what? Oh, I laid it, whoa. Uh-oh. 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 How do I fall? I can't jump. No, am I stuck? Oh god, okay, thank God.
Now plug it in.
Because I was about to shoot it and that would kill him.
Just get it near the receptacle. Perfect. Thank you, Cole.
I always loved how satisfying they click in.
The assassin's mask. You're a wanted man, so everyone in the city knows your face. This mask will mean terror to you. If you just hold still, the fit must be precise. There. Can you see normally? And the lens out of alignment. There. Better now? I could create more for you. Upgrades for your gear, weapons, munitions.
I
Our
always loved
situation here is desperate. Scavenge the city for valuables, and
this.
I will
Like
resell
fixing
them
it
on the black
in
market.
to
That should give us
place
the money
still
to
has the
craft
letterboxing.
Tell me what I can make soon.
Let's have a look. Alright, so we can't take the rune that he sells because we don't need it. We're gonna grab the bone charm capacity because we can still grab bone charms. We have 1,000. I'm gonna just grab the crossbow stuff because that's the only thing we actually give a shit about. And then yeah, let's grab. I like to grab to like half because I'm always gonna get some of them. But for me, considering that we get to play where I don't actually have to care about not killing anybody, I want to grab a little bit of everything.
I advise that you get some sleep. Your life will get even more difficult soon.
I always
You
love
should
that line.
rest while you can.
Yeah, I could go for sleep. Oh, you're right. I'll head to my room for sleep.
Sleep well.
Sorry. It's the fact that I'm thinking about having rice and teriyaki chicken for dinner and being very excited. Also, the full moon is in my window and it was going out for a brief drive, and it being the first time in a long time I've had like my jaw drop from the visual of something. It was just the moon being so big. But also, yeah, this looks fine. This is normal. This looks pretty normal. Welcome to my favorite fictional god character in terms of media. In the top 5s, I would say. The Outsider is a concept that I really, really enjoy. The description of which I really like being a bored Prometheus.
Hello, Corvo. Your life has taken a turn, has it not? The Empress is dead. Her precious daughter Emily is lost somewhere in the city, and you will play a pivotal role in the days to come. For this, I have chosen you and drawn you into the void. I am the Outsider, and this is my mark. There are forces in the world and beyond the world, great forces that we call magic. And now, these forces will serve your will. Use this newfound power, my gift to you.
Thanks, Twank.
Come find me.
Yeah, so the thing with the Outsider that I've come to understand, at least from what I've played, is that he marks people that he finds interesting because they have access to power. And more specifically, he gives them, not even access to power, they have access to the ability to change things. And he gives them power to see what they do with it. I'm also going to point out that in the DLC, when you play as Dowd, because Dowd has slightly different powers than what Corvo gets, his blink, if you are not moving the camera, not moving at all, is also a freeze time. So that you can, in the middle of like jumping, look, or you can move the camera, but you can't move the stick as if you're moving at all, to let you kind of like figure out where you're gonna go, but also freeze time in the middle of your blink. It is, in all meaning of the words, infinitely better than what Corvo gets, but when you're switching between the two, it's kind of a problem. Palm letter. Oh. Alright, kind of expecting one of those to be redacted if I'm playing too much control. I've been editing the control videos. Okay, I love that he also shows you things that you can't see. Like, Emily's letter. Corvo, I am very sad. They say that you are dead like mother, but I'm going to put this note in a bottle and throw it into the river because I do not believe them. Living here is very strange. I do not like it, so please come for me if you can. Oh, and those are the Pendleton brothers, I believe. And you should kind of pick up on that, I feel, if you've seen the first Pendleton. They're all inbred. We've got that. What's the Habsburger? Habsburger syndrome? And then the regent throwing his chess pieces of the map, and this is going to be a room we come to a lot longer from now. Then down here, you've got the tall boys attacking, I believe, Weepers. Oh no! Bye! Well, I'm glad I blinked in the end of it. So one of the things is I would like to play the DLCs because and then play Dishonored 2 on stream over time. But the consideration is the fact that I would, if I'm platinuming this, because even though I do not typically care about achievements, it's just for the sake of saying I did it. There are the achievements for the DLC and for the
Days that
trials.
follow,
Oh.
your trials will be great, Corvo. Seek the ancient runes bearing my mark in the lonely places of your world, and at shrines raised in my name.
I like his rings.
These runes will grant you powers beyond those of other men. To help you find these runes, I give you this, the heart of a living thing, molded by my hands.
I wonder what living
With
thing that
this heart,
was.
you will hear many secrets, and it will guide you toward my runes, no matter how they may be hidden. Listen to the heart now, and find another rune.
So this is the one really painful aspect of this playthrough. Because they put the heart on the speaker, it only plays in the controller. If I want it to play, I can't even put the audio through my headphones because then it won't be able to actually be captured because the capture card will only get picked up from one source. Or you're only allowed to have the HDMI run for one source. So I'm gonna run it through the controller. Can y'all hear that? We'll make it work. Is there something up here? Oh. Oh. Because the audio is really good for the heart. It's just this one version of it. The end is often the beginning. Oh god. Yeah, I like to think that this is the Pale. So, just I will point out that for the playthrough, we are not allowed to upgrade or use any of these. We can still pick them up. We also get Blink for the sake of the first game not being designed for the playthrough to not let you just deny the outsider his mark. And 2, apparently you can just straight up deny him, and I want to do that. Nope.
How you use what I have given you falls upon you. as it has to the others before you. And now I return you to your world, but know that I will be watching with great interest.
He's a bored Prometheus. He gives you power to see what you do with it, to see if you succumb to the same thing that he's bored of seeing, which is people that given power succumb to greed. Because he gave Dowd power, and Dowd chose to just use it to become an assassin. Hidden in the old bar on the river, your new allies have plans to share with you. Meet with the Loyalists Inner Circle to learn what they've got in mind. Oh, we're gonna get a lot of stuff because of the pre-order bonus. This is actually gonna be really dumb and kind of make the game look stupid for a second. So this game was during the era in which pre-order things were like you had to pre-order from like 5 different places to get everything, which you couldn't obviously do. So for the definitive edition, they just put all of the bonuses in one space. So these statues increase my bone charm capacity, and then there's notes on all of the antagonists, which I find funny. So we've got a mystical whale artifact and a pile of money, some bone charms. Journal of Granny Rags, the one that I think we're going to follow for this playthrough versus Slackjaw. Excerpt from the ramblings of a street denizen. Of course I'll tell you, dearie, I won't keep any secrets from you in the end. All of the dreary days of my life are like the windows of a house. From the kitchen I can see out into the garden where the leaves and stalks are brown and bug-eaten. You can see a little lump of dirt where something was wrapped in a blanket and laid to rest along the rows of twisting vines. The front room looks out into the street where the neighbors are all settling fire to their homes, barricading themselves inside, warm and snug, dearie. Don't forget about the bedroom either. It sees into a dreary alley where hooligans are playing a game with an old man. The first 2 are hitting him with sticks, and the girl with them is kicking at his dry old ribs. Oh, to have those bones, to boil them in a pot. No one lives in my house anymore, dearie. No one you'd want to meet. When I lived there with my husband, we were fine people. Vera More, everyone would say. Your house is as grand as Boyle Manor. Better even, your dinners are lavish and your parties are the best. When that young Sokolov came to paint my portrait, I was nearly still in my prime. Radiant, he said, and he was just barely a man, so young and painting all the best people across the land. Everyone wanted a portrait by his hand, all my friends. I was the only one, dearie, wet with his paint glistening on the canvas for a pretty coin. But it wasn't all parties and paintings. My husbands and I, that's what I'm going with, we're all always at home now. We traveled together, he and I, and the other husbands, to the far end of the Isles, beyond even all the way to the red cliffs of Pendicia, to dig in the rock and crawl through the caves, holding up candles and squinting at the walls. Many precious things we came upon, but none so precious as the boy with the black eyes, dearie. All those marks and bones, carved so deep and polished so bright. I brought the bones home. I hid them from my dear husbands, and then I learned to boil them and carve them myself. They made such good presents, dearie. The little mute boy took them home. He loved them so. All the time he came back with new bones for me, holding them up so I could see it in his eyes, even though his tongue was still. Granny, his eyes would say to me, carve these bones for me. Make me another present. And he went so far, all the way to Dunwall Tower, the royal headsman himself now. My little mute boy, that was the guy who tortured us. That was the guy who tortured us. My little moot boy and his shiny, shiny sword. Better bones for what I needed, you see. Better bones to carve and polish, scrape and gleam. My dear old husband was always tired. My dear old husbands were always tired. I made them soup, and then they were sick. Better bones was all. For my little mute boy carved in the name of the one with black eyes. After my husbands were gone, giving away his birthday gifts, I didn't want to live there anymore. So now I'm old and I don't have any money. I don't have any many to give presents to. Is sifting through the garbage for Granny Rags. And who is voiced by Susan fucking Sarandon, by the way, and feeding the little birdies that gather at my feet. No one wants to have tea, dearie, especially those rude louts on Bottle Street. Slackjaw and his boys, always meddling with an old woman just trying to make her way. And in the end, we'll be together with him, you and me in the dreary night, with stars above and below, and always one with the black eyes, dearies. Oh god, Granny Rags is so cool. Okay. We have a lot of reading today. My throat is already starting to hurt, and not even for fun reasons.